Hello there, world. Bettina Carey here, and I'm the founder and CEO of We Empower You, the global community, and WeEmpowerYourLife.com, the website. And today I'm welcoming back Lee Romanov. So Lee, you're going to be talking to us today about how to write a book in a day, not just a weekend like you've talked to us before. And I can't wait to hear this because you know how to make things a lot of fun. And with that, take it away.
Okay, so I'm totally qualified to talk to you about this because I am unencumbered about any ability to write books, and I've written several, and I've taken zero media courses, and I've been interviewed by the media worldwide, anywhere from CBC to CNN to BBC to ABC, for me to say, all the letter companies, that's for sure. So what I did when I started to get immediate attention, I noticed if you do something memorable, and I'll show you one of my examples of doing something memorable that landed me on the front page of the largest newspaper in Toronto, Ontario, the Toronto Star. What I did was I had a website called insurancehotline.com, and my press release, I bought a toy Porsche, and I put my press release inside the Porsche, and I crashed in the left front bumper because Insurance Hotline was all about getting the lowest car insurance rates for tickets and accidents. And I sent this toy car to the Toronto Star, and I asked the secretary to drive it to the editor or the columnist that writes about the business section. So she, from her desk, drove this toy car with my press release through the Toronto Star office, through all the aisles, to the journalist that wrote for the business section. So it got tons of notice. And what happened was, because it was so interesting, that I ended up getting on the front page of the Toronto Star business section. And seriously, they put my picture in there. I don't have the article with me right now, but they put my picture was so large that my head was actual size. That's how much coverage I got. So do something memorable. And this was like, a $20 remote control car for the front page of the Toronto Star. So think about that. And if you just do some niche targeting, it can really work well. The easiest way to get media attention is to listen or watch a mainstream media show and send your comment to the host about something they said. In other words, be a resource. When you start sending them information, they will contact you for more information because they're not in that world. You're in that world, and they will use you as a resource. And as you send them more information, for instance, when I was sending newspapers information, I was actually writing their articles for them. And my only condition was that they put my website in their article and referenced me. And they were happy to do that. I was actually writing articles for so many magazines and so many newspapers. And most of my day was writing articles and sending out good stories to the media. So once you start doing this, it really catches on. Through the We Empower You membership, you've got access to 400 radio media contacts that this would be perfect for. You just switch on the radio, listen to it, listen to what the host says, send them some information. Just focus on a few. Focus on 3 stations that you want to start having a relationship with. And then you get 4, and then you'll get 5. It's almost magic. Now, what I suggest is that you carve out an hour a day for media promotion in your schedule. And what you should do is you should pick your most productive time to do this, because that's only when you'll be able to do this, because it's something new. You perceive it as something difficult, And if you put your most productive time behind it, you will get through it. And what I suggest is once you pick that time, that hour, close off your email and turn off your phone, and then say, now what do I do? And if you don't know what to do, you can pick up the phone and you can call me. But this is where you focus, and just 1 hour a day, because this is part of your job, being an entrepreneur. Promotion is part of your job. So get to know the local media personalities. And how I started was I said, okay, in my area, it was the Toronto Star, the Globe and Mail, the Toronto Sun, CBC. So I picked up all the local media stations, and then I figured out who was my person that I talked to, who was the person in those media centers, who was the contact. So I had to find one contact, and I started with them. So target the media you want to be on. Consider the media, all those stations, your marketing department. If you do that, it gives you power. Supply them with good story ideas weekly. And I know you have them. And ask them when you're talking to them what they're working on, because usually they'll say, hey, yeah, I'm going to be working on this, this, and this. And say, great, I can send you information about this, and then do it. Now you've got a really good working relationship. Consider yourself their assistant to some really good stories. Now, here's some interesting things. You can write a book in a day, and I'm going to show you how to do that, to get media attention. And I was on CNN for this cheesy little book I wrote, Car Karma, which told people how your astrological sign affects your driving. And what I did was I went to all the astrological websites, and for Pisces, they got a lot of tickets, and I saw that they were the daydreaming sign. Of course, they're missing the speed traps. So that's what I did. That was the book. And just huge promotion from that. I went worldwide. So authors, speakers, coaches, and entrepreneurs write books to educate and help people. So the book I'm talking to you is not that. I'm talking about books, cheesy little books, ideas little books that you would not base your business on. My business was on insurancehotline.com, finding the lowest car insurance rate. It had nothing to do with astrology, but this cheesy little book got me worldwide media attention. It got me a grant to continue my research in astrological signs, which was like, huh? And it got me a stand-up comedy gig. So it's just crazy what these little, funny books can get you that can support your mainstream business. And what I'm talking about is water cooler topics for your funny little books. Now, why I say weather is whenever I advertised, I always put my advertisement near the weather map, because everybody every day checks out the weather. For some reason, they just don't go to the window and open up the window. They go and look for a weather map. So if you've got your ad or your promotion near a weather map, they will see your advertisement. Astrology, everybody goes to check out what their horoscope says. If you do any kind of water cooler, man versus women, there's always tension there. And even colors, the color you wear represents the way you do your work, let's say. And if you bring that comparison in, everybody will read it. You will get on the media. Get a great mascot. Look at this. This is one of the greatest mascots, a white bull terrier with red lipstick. Not that difficult. But as you know, even Spud McKenzie, people 30 years ago, still remember the dog Spud McKenzie of beer commercial. I have a bull terrier. I took my bull terrier, I created a website called wholetthedogin.com, because I know the power of a mascot. And I took him to the bank to open a bank account. And I filmed it. And I did not know that banks do not open up accounts for dogs. Who knew? I found that out, but it was a great little film clip. And that, again, you can get something really viral that way. Okay, write the book you would never write. So this is what I'm going to have you just sort of start brainstorm. Writing, think of the book you would never normally write. No normality here. You take, this is a difference. Here's a very functional pipe. This is going to be you by the end of this presentation. Okay? You can put the fun back into functional. Right? You're writing a book to raise the eyebrow. Okay? This is the kind of book you're writing. You've got your own books, you've got your own business, it's very safe and secure, but write something outrageous. And I'm going to give you examples of being outrageous. And it's going to get uncomfortable, but it's the book you only thought of writing. It's a book that gives you this reaction. It gives you this reaction when you tell your friend that you're going to write this book. This is what you're looking for. That's the feeling you want. This book is going to draw attention to one point, and it's going to bring out the child in you. And the child could be exactly like this. And everything to write this book in a day is online. It's just research, copy, and paste. And at the end of this, I'm going to show you how I created the structure of one book in a few hours. So I'm going to go over some book cover ideas because that is really the draw. That's going to be what's going to take this book over the finishing line. State the obvious. This book has a camera in it, and Google is taking your pictures right now. Okay? State the obvious. Play with opposites. Start your book with the end. Goal setting begins with the end. Very simple, very clean. Here's another book idea. Take from your story. Yoli was talking at one of her presentations about her riding a donkey to school, and she'd almost always dreamed of driving a Tesla. So we created a good book, a cute book, Inspirational Donkey, from a donkey to a Tesla. Now, she's not quite at a Tesla yet, but she's not at the donkey level either. And if you think about it, if you invite people to contribute stories to your book, your really small, aggressive little entertaining book, 100 people, if you charge $100 for a page in your book, if you get 20 people to contribute, that's $2,000 for you, just like that. If it's a 100-page book, 100 people contribute their inspirational donkey to a Tesla story, that's $10,000. So you take those pages and copy them into a PDF, upload it, and give it to people. And on your website, you can have them share their inspirational donkey story or any story. And I'll give you an example of that. I asked drivers back in 1994 to tell me their insurance stories, and they did. And then what I would do is I would give these insurance stories to the media. So the media found me as a resource for insurance stories, and they would call me and say, do you have anybody that did this? And I would say yes, because I would categorize all these stories. And I don't know what is creepier on this one, either this guy's pants or his wife is still sitting in the driver's seat. I'm not sure, but it's a great picture to create a book from, that's for sure. Now, here's a perfect example, Jack Canfield, author or not. You know he didn't write these stories. You know he's pretty successful. So all he did was ask people to contribute their stories. Even if you've got the income activator website platform. Ask people to give you their information and send them leads back and create your own directory. Same idea. We do it. Everybody does it differently, but get people to contribute. They'll be part of your promotion too. Use well-known expressions. To be or not to see. Lee Romanov, travel expert. Bookyourlondontrip.com. You can take a long worded phrase, find it on GoDaddy, and create a .com that will go directly to your landing page or your book page. So even if your travelexpert.com website, you can create a bookyourlondontrip.com and direct it to your any page on your website. And when you're talking to the media, when they'll say, well, where do we go? And then you would just say bookyourlondontrip.com, something really memorable, and that is maybe even the book's name. So, and usually these kind of domain names will cost you $1 or $2. So they're really inexpensive. Well-known expressions. To be happy or not to be, that is the question. Lee Romanov, author, wehaveyouranswers.com. The most searched term in the world is how to be happy. So if you can wrap your theme, your business around how to be happy, it's a good target for a fun book. And also I want to point out, whenever you put your domain name, change the color of each word and have each word as a capital so they can easily read it and see it. It's so much better. Here, common pictures. That's all, folks. Oops, that's not all, folks. Lee Romanov, author, memory enhancement. So, you know, it's memorable. You send this to a DJ and they'll love it. And they'll be all day saying, whoops, that's not all, folks. Just forgot about something. Here's another one, very common. Just do it. Just did it. Actions speak louder than words. Really great book title. You put yourself not only equal, but above Nike. Just do it. Nope, I don't want to do it. I did it. Again, actions speak louder than words. Powerful. Use double meanings. One of my books, Get Rich by Telling People Where to Go. I actually do tell them where to go to get the best services. But every time I say by telling people where to go, I can see the turned up smile because I know what they're thinking when they're saying it. Here's another one. Take from well-known stories, the Three Little Pigs, vegan diets. I mean, just do the opposite. Here's a good example. I mean, this went huge. Eat more chicken, and cows are promoting that. Just switch it up. Huge, huge media. Look at this. Be current, tasty, not. You know, they're really pushing eating bugs, right? Well, they're not really that good for you. And so if you're current, tasty, not, that will get you on the media, on the radio, on the TV, on anything, on a very easy topic that will lead into your topic. Lee Romanov, author, nutritionalist. Perfect. Now, to get information from the book, for the book about eating bugs, what I did was I Googled top 10 reasons not to eat bugs. And Google brought up 7 reasons to eat insects. So you know you're over the topic of when they're censoring what you're trying to search for. So you know this is like, you know this is so hot because even the search engine doesn't want to talk about it. So now you're just nailed it. What the search engine I usually go to, but I just do this for fun because I just want to see what you know, the level of censorship on certain topics is. I use Ecosia, And same search term, top 10 reasons not to eat bugs. And I actually got up. Why not eat insects? Oh, bingo. You take this and you start copying, pasting into your book. And then you just adjust what, their presentation and make it your own, much like you would do in college or university or high school when writing an article, and you just use resources. Exact same thing. Look for funny quotes. If plan A didn't work, the alphabet has 24 more letters. Stay cool. And then I took it, start with I, Lee Romanov, author, knowing yourself. So you can play with different expressions and quotes and create a really cool book title. State the obvious. Really important. Tell the truth about homeschooling. Misspell words. They love it. Okay? Like this, I would, if somebody sent me this book to interview about homeschooling, and then somebody sent me this book, I would take this person on because I know this person has passion, and I know it's going to be a really truthful, I feel like it would be much more truthful, the interview. So again, state the truth. You can create a book series. I gave you here's an example of creating a book series. A book series, Elephant in the Room. Are you the elephant in the room? Being different is okay. Are you the elephant in the room? Spelling made easy. Are you the elephant in the room? Dress for success. So, you can create a whole series from one picture, and people will be looking forward to what your next elephant is. Okay, I'm helping somebody right now. He's writing a book on Christian principles in business, in personal and business life. And it's a very serious, look at how Christian principles, how you are in your personal and business life, very, very serious. But the book will be overlooked in a lot of different ways because sometimes it's complicated and it's kind of too serious. So I came up with a title that I think really works for media attention. And I said, Jesus Meets Wall Street. I mean, who wouldn't read that, pick that up? And so again, you search online for chapter ideas and content and make it your own. And so I just searched, biblical sayings, and, within an hour, I had my 10 chapters: snakes and ladders to heaven, guiding your moral compass through the swamp, dealing with snakes and swamp creatures, miracle on 34th Street, zooming in, holy cow, fire and brimstone, forbidden fruit, Dear John, like writing to the John the Baptist, and Let There Be Light. Really a colorful book where any DJ would open it up and they would probably go to, like, what do you mean zooming in, or holy cow? And if you put a cool quotation in a picture, they will, ask you about this when they're being interviewed. So don't focus on educating. Have fun with your topic. Make your point, which is really a big thing, and be outrageous to get media attention. Sort of, what's your point? Here's some chapter examples that I did. Chapter 1, Snakes and Ladders to Heaven, Your Karmic Journey. These are images you find that are not stock copies. And this is like snakes and ladders. It's a perfect image for that book. Dealing with snakes and swamp creatures. Perfect. Zooming in, God is watching. How much fun is that? Holy cow, don't worship false idols. Forbidden fruit. And, a lot of times I don't write my book. I just click here I go to voice typing, and I type in my chapter ideas. So I don't have to actually write something. It just writes it for me, and I go in and correct it. And before you know it, I have everything I need for a book, and then edit, and I'm done. Because I am a lousy typer and I'm a lousy speller. I get that, and that's that. We can turn that off right now. Then I copy it and put it in my book. So I also always add, all spelling and grammatical errors have been put there for your enjoyment, purposely misspelled enjoyment for their enjoyment. Okay. And because then that means I don't have to get a copywriter. They totally get it. And when you want to put a price on it, I usually just price it as very expensive. So your Income Activator website, your We Empower You platform has 10 award-winning ebook templates ready to go. You just download it. It's almost like it's PowerPoint. You download it, you copy and paste everything you need in it. Then once you like it, you just PDF it. And when we find a service that can print on demand, that would be excellent. But I just use usually the ebooks to send the ebooks out. I email it, send it out. You can put it on your online store. Your Income Activator store sells ebooks, and it's really easy. And if you want to participate in and join either our We Empower You membership or promote the We Empower You membership, anyone can get a business in a box, and it includes the Income Activator all-inclusive website, a TV show spotlight on all the major stations like Apple, Roku, Google Play, about an audience of 50 million. It also includes sponsors, about 400 sponsors, that if you do your 5-minute TV show, you can say to the sponsor, check my 5-minute TV show out. If you align with it, let's promote, and the promotion will go to your website and people that generate you online income. The branding is second to none. The branding is key to getting your look and feel and copywriting. These weekly meetings allow you to connect with Bettina and I for mentoring at the meetings or individually. And it also comes with 400 radio show contacts with audiences up to 100,000. So I did this all in one breath. If anybody wants to ask me a question, I'm here.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you so much, Lee, for covering that so quickly. And I love your taking this to a whole new fun level. You know, that's what we need, a lot more fun in our lives, right? Why be so serious?
Yeah, right. Anyone's happy to, I'm happy to, you know, if you want to grab those titles, you can grab those titles. They're ones I just made up, except for the Jesus Meets Wall Street. That's kind of gone.
All right, we've got some guests here today. Let's see about opening up mics. And I know that we have Angel of Freedom, who always wants to get his voice out there. Troy Thompson, I'll have you go first.
Okay, well, Leah's reminding me of an avoidance, which is start contacting local media, and just what she was sharing today of seeing about getting on their shows, just all the things that she talked about. What are they doing? Giving them suggestions, giving them feedback, making a comment, and ultimately, ultimately, you know, leading to me doing an interview and or writing an article and being the expert in the area.
Yeah, you're so primed to doing it.
And you're great. You have a great radio voice and a great TV face. I'd love to see you interviewed both on TV and radio.
Yeah, and Troy, if you get stuck, you just call me and I'll just say, do this, and then you can look at your screen, and when you decide to do it, you'll be successful. But yeah, I would definitely start with identifying what stations you want to put in your media department.
Yeah, I did a radio, excuse me, radio station search. It reminds me of the expression "getting ready to get ready." So I at least did that piece.
That's good.
Well, the one thing that you're maybe overlooking, though, is that you have had the radio list, which is a list that's been honed and crafted, that has the producers of the major radio stations all across America that have the larger and largest audiences. So rather than create your own brand new list, you may want to go back to your We Empower You membership and check out the list that we provide, because it's already been, it's got the producers' names, it's got their emails, it's got their phone numbers, and it's got their station identification and what their topic is all about, a little summary of that. So
yeah,
check it out.
And talk about the stuff that nobody in your industry wants to talk about without you getting your license yanked. But got to be careful about that. But talk about talk about something fun, interesting. Get a laugh going.
That's a good point. Of something memorable is basically what you said. Whatever that is, talk about the things people don't want to talk about, or make it funny, but basically make it memorable.
Yeah, I mean, I would send a big bag of cash, Monopoly money, to one of your local media. In fact, I would create my own money with little like Chinese sayings in them, and they open this bag of cash. It's just a burlap sack with a dollar sign on it, right? And then they put their hand in, they can pull out some dollar bills that, you can put funny quotes on them. That all those dollar bills will go to everybody in the station saying, I want that, I want that. Have one for $1 million, have one for, $1, have one for, $100. And on the back, a funny quote.
My wife has created one with somebody's picture on it before for something. So
yeah.
I have one with my own face on it. Bettina bucks. Cash them in while they're hot.
But make it about them, even if you get the idea of the radio station's editors, and make it about them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, put their face on there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I wonder if there's a way to do that. Like if they have their picture on
they do.
Company's website, you can Photoshop it, I assume.
Yeah, all you have to do is put their name in Google, and you usually get a picture.
Years ago, I used to make custom invitations by hand. Really great. And then I'd hand deliver them to the media, and I got media attention. It was above and beyond the call of duty, as it were. And even I used to hand walk over my press releases, and I would get interviews from that alone, because most people just sent them in via email. So
yeah, great. Yeah, I mean, Jerry Good is one of the biggest advertising gurus in Canada. He used to send businesses toy dinosaurs, saying your marketing is completely outdated.
That's pretty cute.
So anybody else have any questions? Karen, did you like that idea of the Jesus meets Wall Street?
Yeah, that was cute. I laughed. It was funny.
Yeah, I when I was talking about that.
It gave me stuff to think about.
For sure. Yeah. One thing, just also returning to a comment that Troy made, the getting ready to get ready, that's really what stops a lot of people from doing the book, and also from just pitching the media with your ideas. And it's like, just do it.
I just did it.
Just did it.
What you should do is do your point forms of what you need to do to get to your end result. Remember that book, Start with the End?
Mm-hmm.
and work backwards. And now, at least you have your list there and you can check that list off as you go.
Yep.
Yep. That's like anything. It's
I know, hard.
the just did it, taking the action, ready, firing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you do it, it's easier also along the way.
Yep.
Mhm.
Karen, you just wrote your book last year and got it out there and published, and you're getting and accepting, I'm sure, some media attention and seeking media attention. What do you think about today's presentation?
Oh, I think it's good. Lots of good ideas.
Yeah.
I
You did a
things
lot
I
of
never thought of.
You did a lot of
What?
feet on the street when you published your book. You went from store to store to store.
I
Yeah,
did.
yeah. And what you should do is go from radio station to radio station to radio station, the same thing. Do exactly what you did from store to store to store, but do it on a radio station, and then you'll get your book out to more masses.
And I think that's the misunderstood thing is folks, one, they see getting on the media as something that's really impossible to achieve, which it's not. And then the second thing they sometimes fail to understand or see is that you can go and speak to a small crowd of 25 or 50 people and sell 25 or 50 books, or you can speak to a crowd of 100,000, 250,000 people all listening while they're driving around. And that's a much wider audience. And so the sales of books and the activity from different sales or strategies that maybe you're a consultant, maybe you're a coach, maybe you offer a product or good or a service, more sales are going to happen as a result because you're speaking to this much broader audience.
I was an airplane pilot called me one time, and he had heard me on the radio, and he said, I fly around celebrities like Nicole Kidman, and he said, you make me more nervous than her. Because he heard me on the radio, and it was really important to him to have the kind of online business. So, he put a lot into it. He cared less about Nicole Kidman. Here, I'll grab your bag, sit down on a plane, have some champagne, and I'll drive you. But when you're on the radio, you get this celebrity status that is just unbelievable. And, they so much, it increases your credibility like tenfold. And you're still the same person, but you've just done something that other people haven't. And everybody would rather talk to a radio personality than just another business personality. And that is the huge, people would be fighting to talk to Troy if they heard him on the radio. And that's all there is to it. It is as simple as that.
Yeah, it almost is like there's an instant fame factor that happens once people see you in the limelight, and and then you can use that as bragging rights to open the next door and the next door and the next door.
It really is, yeah. It
Troy,
really
did you have
is.
something else?
Pardon?
Oh, I thought Troy was trying to say something.
Oh no, just nodding in agreement that
Okay.
yeah, you get the momentum, the compounding, whatever, right? So you start with one, and then there's a credibility of referring to, well, hey, I was on whatever show, and then someone else's.
Yeah,
and the competitor doesn't want to feel they're missing out. They want the FOMO.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's so good, and it's just if you dedicate a portion of what you do to this, the media, what you do becomes easier, because what you're doing is harder. And if you do a little bit of the hard thing in regard to the media, your life becomes easier. But if you avoid it, your life continues to be harder. It's really that simple. Do the hard things first and your life becomes easier. Do the easy things and your life becomes harder.
I heard that before. Did you say that before? I heard that some other book.
Probably, I say it every time, so
all right.
we should make a book out of it.
Heard it first from Lee Romanov.
Yeah, heard it first from, and that's a great title. Heard it first from Troy. And there's so much you can play off your name too. I mean, it's just such a fun name. And you're looking, what do you mean by that?
Oh, no, no. My initial thought was my name, Troy. I've had many nicknames related to that, but
Oh, okay.
I know you didn't mean that.
No. Like Boy Troy? I don't know.
Yeah, T-Roy, T-Boy.
Yeah, that's true. You're 100 people in one. Okay. So anyway, I think we're wrapped it up unless there's anything else.
Yeah, I think we're wrapped up for today. For those of you who've been watching, thank you so much, Lee, for joining us here today. As always, this is our Wednesday We Empower You Global Community Meeting and Mentorship. And it's all about go-to marketing, go-to publicity, go-to solutions that we've come up with that we believe that folks should embrace and grasp right away. And we do these in a recording so that you can go back and learn again if you need to, just to refresh yourself. Join us every single Wednesday, with the exception of when we do our summits. Our next summit is coming up on December the 14th, which is a Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. And join us back here next Wednesday, because it's not a summit Wednesday, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to weempoweryourlife.com, click on the calendar tab to join our meeting. It's been great to have you all. See you next week.